This is Seewing Yee from the Yee Real Estate Network. Thank you for attending. All right, so listen and memorize and engrave this inside your brain, hopefully permanently. All right, 4 words you need to repeat after yourself: self-directed IRA plus non-recourse lending equal double-digit returns and tax-free growth. All right. So these 4 words, if you learn nothing from this video presentation, just memorize these 4 words and you are on your way. All right, so I say it again: self-directed individual retirement account IRA plus non-recourse loans equal double-digit returns and tax-free growth. It's not that hard. It's real simple. All right, so let's uh, let's go through the process. For a while now, I've been, as part of the Year Real Estate Network, of course, uh, we try to educate our investors to make them to become an informed, smart, savvy, real estate turnkey investors. And to that end, all these years, and I've been trying to, we did pretty much did a good job. A number of our investors over the years have been using their self-directed IRAs to buy real estate, investment real estate. However, I'm still frustrated, and I don't know how other words I can use. There are still many of you out there who are still not utilizing this strategy, meaning converting your traditional tax qualified plans, mainly your IRAs, into a self-directed IRA to buy investment real estate in the name of your IRA. All right, so it's not rocket scientist. Okay, so just try to understand. Just take a step back and just try to find a way to motivate yourself, inspire yourself, and potentially take action using some of the methodologies that I'm teaching you today. All right, so let's push forward. Again, I don't want to. This is all high level explanation. Oh, by the way, disclaimer I'm sharing with you is this is just a general educational presentation. Uh, you need to consult your own tax advisors to go over your unique tax situation. I'm not a licensed tax advisor. I'm not a licensed financial advisor or a attorney, etc. So again, this is just a general education presentation, and you need to do your own additional research and due diligence in order to determine what's right for you based on your goals and objectives and your risk tolerance. All right. So with that said, if you have previous employer 401ks and any types of IRAs out there, please allow me to consult with you. All right. It's complimentary consultation. Nothing, everything to gain, nothing to lose. All right. So here's a scenario. I'll just break it down real simple, real fundamental. Any person can understand. It's not real estate investing is not rocket scientist, and using your IRA to buy investment property is not rocket scientist either, right? So it takes a lot of common sense and just average intelligence, just like buying real estate investments, not just using your IRAs. So this in the situation is that yes, anybody can buy uh, investments, any kind of investment using the IRA, with the exception of a couple of things like gold or some commodities or life insurance. That's the only exception. Otherwise, you do not have to keep your IRAs inside traditional mutual funds and stock market, whatever. Contrary to what we all been brainwashed over the years, that's the only method of investing. So All right. So with that said, the okay, let's assume that you have transferred all your various IRAs from different sources into a self-directed IRA, and then you're ready to do something with it using your IRA name. So, and even then, most of you are thinking that for you have to put all your IRAs dollar for dollar to buy the price of the property that you're buying. No, not necessarily. So I'm going to talk about how to leverage, how to use your non-recourse loans, non-recourse lending to leverage your IRA purchase inside the IRA on investment, rental property, real estate. All right. So here's the scenario. The situation is this: if you wish to buy an investment property, typically a single-family home rental. Uh, if you wish to purchase anything, uh, less than 100,000, right? It must be a full IRA purchase. All right. So, for example, if you want to buy a property for 75,000, investment property, if you wish to use your IRA, then you have to buy it with a full cash purchase, full IRA purchase in the name of the IRA, right? It's that simple. And so now, what if the investment property with the IRA you wish to purchase is higher than 100,000? Well, you're giving some additional choices, and that additional tool that you could incorporate is the non-recourse loan. All right. So the reason why we call it non-recourse loan is that the loan is non-recourse. The loan you're gonna leverage against your IRA to purchase more property than what the IRA shows. If for example, if you default on a loan, the non-recourse lender can only go after the IRA. They cannot venture outside of the IRA property to go after your personal asset. So what that does that mean is that you could say that you already have asset protection uh, in case this is your personal finances are pretty much protected. Besides, right, even if you use non-recourse loan to purchase rental property, uh, you the amount that you put on the IRA, typically more than half, 50%, for example, the purchase is inside IRA. You have a lot of equity, a lot of money inside the IRA. So the chance of you defaulting on an IRA investment purchase are pretty slim, right? So this is based on history. So the two non-recourse lender, and I will introduce you to you. Some of you know who they are. The minimum loan non-recourse loan amount within their underwriting guideline is 50,000, right? Here it is. Minimum non-recourse loan NRL is $50,000. If that's the case, therefore the minimum IRA down payment you need is your own 50,000, right? So 50,000. Consequently, right? Consequently, if you try to buy a rental property less than 100 grand, you must be a all cash purchase, all IRA purchase. But if the purchase price is higher than 100,000, right? Then you have two choices, right? You could use your full self-directed IRA to buy dollar for dollar, all cash, or if you want to leverage and make your return higher, you can put 50% down payment on your self-directed IRA, then obtain the minimum of a $50,000 non-recourse loan. So $100,000 purchase of a property, all you need is 50,000 IRAs, and the non-recourse lender, assuming the property has met their underwriting guidelines, just like any other loans, uh, if the property cash flow in a good market and a good neighborhood, the non-recourse lender underwriting will approve the loan minimum $50,000. Okay, all right. It's not that difficult, is it? I'm gonna give you some example. Okay, we have 5 markets typically in our product line, if you will, within our Yee Real Estate network. of partners and resources. All right. So I already identified the 3 areas. I mean, the 5 areas. Of course, we have property presentation in Buffalo, Niagara Falls. That's number 1. Number 2, we have via foreclosures, and within the via foreclosure market that we are presenting several markets, right? In Texas, in Florida, in North Carolina, in Virginia, mainly those 4 top markets. So plenty of opportunities where you can also use a self-directed IRA in those via foreclosure markets that we're promoting. The second product line. The third product line is we have Alabama representation in Birmingham and Huntsville, and fourth is the our Central Florida product line, which is in all over Central Florida, but currently we are mainly promoting Palm Bay, but we have several products, as you know, through Gene Gillum in Central Florida, very good area. And finally, in Austin, Texas, our Ken Venner is taking care of the new construction going on in Central Texas, really, not just Austin, outside Austin, right? So, and of course, we have the resources by being part of the of our membership of the University Network. You have access to the not only to the self-directed IRA custodian, which is in this case the Equity Trust headquarters in Oakland, California, and he's the point of contact, Bill Neville, and from Entrust Group, right? You can roll your traditional IRAs into an Equity Trust self-directed IRAs, right? And of course, for those of you that are more sophisticated, that wish to use your self-directed IRA to make some quick purchases without delays, you can set up your own checkbook control IRAs LLC. And here's the point of contact. Here's the video you can listen to. So for those of you who wish to do that, you are the custodian, because you are writing the checkbook inside the IRA to make some quick real estate purchase decisions without any delays. That's the main benefit of our checkbook IRAs, other than the fact that you are the custodian and that you have to assume more responsibility and all that. But all right, and finally, we have the only 2 mainstream nationwide non-recourse lenders that are willing to lend through the IRAs are our 2 partners here. In this case, the North American Savings Bank with Jason Zook, and that's his contact information. This is the non-recourse lender, and our second non-recourse lender is Roger St. Pierre of First Western Federal Savings Bank. And both of these non-recourse lenders, they specialize in using non-recourse loans to leverage against the IRA. All right, that's the key. And they do mainly not necessarily all 50 states, but many states that, especially that cash flow, that have a good cap rate. That's how they make their underwriting decision to leverage their IRAs, to stretch your IRA to purchase more property than what you actually have inside your IRA. All right. So I'm not going to go through too much detail. The links over here shows the cash flow scenario, but let me, again, this is high level. I'm going to spend no more than 5 more minutes on this presentation, and beyond that, you're going to have to consult with me. Well, I could encourage that, so I could go over your situation and then help you one-on-one. All right. So with Buffalo Niagara Falls, since the properties are mostly under 100 grand, it requires a full IRA purchase. It's that simple. So in the case of this triplex here, I believe, which is 66,500, since this purchase price is less than 100 grand, so you need every single dollar for dollar of your IRAs. So you need at least $66,000 or $500 IRAs plus closing costs, plus closing costs and whatever, and this is it. So if you look at the numbers with a full cash purchase using a traditional IRA with a capitalization rate of a 15% cap rate, then your returns, your monthly net cash flow from your IRA is $824, which is pretty amazing, right? So your $66,000 IRA plus closing costs, so you're a few more $1,000. So that's the total price, dollar for dollar. And the monthly net cash flow, right, minus, there's no mortgage, no, you minus your taxes, insurance, property management fee, 5% vacancy, and 5% maintenance factor on an annual basis. Your net cash flow is 824. The great thing about it is this 824 monthly net cash flow that you purchase from your IRA is tax deferral. You don't pay taxes on it. You don't report the tax return. And first and foremost, the IRA is buying the property, not you. So you don't have to submit your tax return, your FICO score, credit score, or your W-2 to qualify. You are not the qualifier. Your IRA is the qualifier, right? So that's the key, right? That's the key. So the returns are quite high on a full cash purchase, anything at less than 100 grand. So and the next three scenario, well, actually 1, 2, 3, 4. The next 4 scenario purchases are properties that are more than 100,000. So again, if you can use your traditional IRA to purchase anything over 100 grand, you have the option of purchasing the property all cash with IRA, all IRAs dollar for dollar, or you break it down. You put down 50% down with your IRA, 50% down non-recourse loan, so you could buy more properties with less IRAs and get double-digit return. Right, same thing. So $152,000 in this case. By the way, you can click the link to get the full details of the cash flow, cash flow sheet, cash flow analysis. I call it pro forma. Anyway, so this property in San Antonio via foreclosure. So here are the numbers, right? Very, very attractive. So, and the key is if you can use a 50% down payment, down with IRA and 50% non-recourse loan, at the end of the day, to buy this property in San Antonio, this via foreclosure, for example, 152,000 plus closing costs plus the rehab costs, you might have to pay a few more $1,000s beyond that. So at the end of the day, your return is double digit, right? As at least 10% plus your monthly net cash flow, $356 gross tax deferral, ordinarily will be reinvested inside your IRAs, and all the money grows tax deferred until age 59 and a half. At the 59 and a half, you do not have to withdraw the money, but you could, right? You could keep the money in there forever until 70 and a half. And when you reach the age 70 and a half, you have to withdraw at least 10% of your money. Otherwise, you will be subject to RMD, which is a required minimum distribution. So again, consult your tax advisor to go over your situation. I cannot give tax advice. But anyway, having said that, not paying taxes, not needing to report your cash flow and your appreciation on an annual basis, monthly basis, not needing to file your tax return on your gains will allow you to have a higher return on your property than you normally would if you purchase a regular property on a regular financing without the IRA. Without the IRA, any kind of rental income, passive income you generate, you have to pay ordinary taxation subject to your tax bracket. So which could be anywhere from 20%, 25%, or even 28%, depending on how much annual income you make, right? So that's the beauty of buying IRAs inside with your rental property, right? Which is tax deferral. So until when you retire, when you pull the money out, if you pull the money out at age 59 and a half or older, then the amount of the cash flow, passive income withdrawal, it will be subject to ordinary taxation tax bracket at that time, whatever your age is, and whatever your tax bracket in the future. And then, some people assume that when you reaching that age, 59 and a half or older, you could be in a lower tax bracket, but oftentimes it may not be. So at least the money grows tax deferral until age 59 and a half, and that's a tremendous benefit, needless to say, right? So that's the power of buying a property through your IRA. So I'm not going to click on the pro forma, the cash flow analysis on each of these property with the link is already on here. You can do it yourself. At the end of the day, right? You collect the monthly gross rent, then you minus minus your taxes, insurance, your non-recourse loan, monthly mortgage, and property management fee, and any vacancy, any maintenance, anything the IRA will pay for it. If you use your equity trust as a custodian, the custodian will keep track of your rental expenses and compliance, what have you. Everything comes out of the IRA, right? Any cost will be paid by the IRA, and all the expenses, even the non-recourse loan mortgages, everything else, right, or paid by the IRA. You cannot commingle your personal funds inside the IRA. That would be a prohibited transaction, right? So as you maintain your compliance on an annual basis, so years of getting the cash flow and the equity appreciation of your property between whatever age that you are right now up until the age 59 and a half or even older, then it's going to help you on not paying taxes and not reporting your IRA income on your federal 1040 tax return. Isn't that real cool? Yeah, yes it is. So the numbers are very clear. I'm not going to spend too much time. At the end of the day, all this property, okay, this 120 property, even though you bought it for 152,000, you put in 50% down payment. So plus some closing costs and other costs, the IRA out of pocket is 83,000, and in this case, non-recourse loan is 76,000 for the full purchase of 159. So you're spending at the end of the day on this 120 property on this via foreclosure, you're spending 83 grand from your IRA, your self-directed IRA, and then but you're buying the property for 159,000 because the lender is borrowing the money, which is amazing leverage, right? And in this case, in Birmingham, Huntsville, Alabama, a typical property there, average like 100,000, 102,000 in this case. So you put down 50% down payment of your IRA, self-directed IRA, which in this case 56,000. The non-recourse lender will gladly give you the other 52,000. So you're leveraging your money. At the end of the day, you're able to buy a $102,000 property, have a net cash flow monthly for 318, right? And then you got a loan for 52,000. So your total out of pocket is $56,000 IRA. You're able to buy a $102,000 property and get some good cash flow, tax free. All right, the rental income and the appreciation for that matter. And the Palm Bay, it's a Central Florida property that Gene Gilliam is promoting. Once again, the new construction purchase price is $210,000. So if you're going to use your IRA, 50% down, 50% down of the purchase price, 210 equal your which is right here, 109,000 approximately, right? You get a 50% down non-recourse lending, which is 101,000. So you only put out $109,000 to purchase a $210,000 property, and once again you achieve a monthly tax deferral cash flow reinvested inside the IRA of $657, which is a nice chunk of money for tax deferral growth. And finally, in Austin, Texas, our network partner Ken Austin handles the turnkey new construction in Austin, and in this property in Austin, not inside Austin, but maybe 30 miles in Georgetown or Round Rock or Temple or wherever he's promoting this new construction of 234K, right? If you're going to use your IRA, 50% down of your IRA equals approximately 121,000, right? And then you get a non-recourse loan for 113,000. When it's all said and done, your monthly you can achieve a monthly cash flow, net cash flow after all the deductions of 383 monthly passive income. You can reinvest back inside the IRA, not paying taxes, right? That's the key. So that's how you leverage. See, very, very powerful. You invest for the long term, watch your money grow, and that's basically it, right? I mean, that's like I said, is many of you have lots of IRAs all over the place. because you invested through your traditional IRA with your annual contribution, whatever amount based on your age and what have you, a maximum contribution on an annual basis, both spouses perhaps, and then you have many of you work for several companies over the years, and each time you the only thing you cannot use your self-directed IRA or is your current employer 401k. Okay, so I say it again, your current employer 401k, you cannot use that money to roll the money over without any tax consequences to use a self-directed IRA. So when you move from company to company, then you can roll that money over from your previous employer 401k into a self-directed IRA. Then you can use a self-directed IRA to purchase investment real estate. Okay, right. So hopefully this high-level presentation will motivate you and inspire you to move your money from your traditional IRA in the stock market and mutual funds that are earning very low return into a double-digit return and have the money go tax-free, tax deferral, and with double-digit, right? So that's the name of this presentation for that matter. So that's all I have to say, really. Hopefully that helps. That'll trigger some inspiration, motivation, and commitment on your part. And all you have to do is contact myself, and we work as a team. I will introduce you to our, partners. We work as a team. We have non-recourse lenders. We have self-directed IRA custodians, all here to help you. Together, we can achieve your financial freedom goal. Thank you so much. This is Seewing Yee from the Yee Real Estate Network. Have a nice day. Goodbye.